Hallo.
Hallo, ich bin wieder hier und ich freue mich, meinen dritten Slot hier zu haben. Sorry. I spent a bit of Facebook and the Mallorca 2022 group was asking, okay, is there a possibility to smoke in the Bierkönig on Mallorca? I'm still Sebastian Hotz, and from my second slot, I learned I just stick to the text and just flip through the pages so we can grow together. In the third part, I want to talk again about the Bird app. When I came here for the first time, that Twitter is the most unfunny app, and yeah, that's we could have a look at how it works and what happens in the dark spheres of the internet. At the second block, I talked about blocking. Have I blocked anyone in this room? There's, well, if this is so, leave the room, please. I tapped on the screen 2 times, so it has to have reasons there. In the third slot, I want to talk about content of Twitter. Twitter is made up of many users, and there's about 3 official people on Twitter. The others are bots. But the movement of these people can be reproduced and can be foreseen, like swallows. The same topics 1,000 times over and over from the same people with the same opinions and the same talk. It's always the same. It's a big wheel we're moving in, and where we are spending time on the internet, and we have to live through every day. Earlier, I was talking about the use of Twitter, and every day on this platform does me right. And I want to talk about bad Twitter discourses. There's also some talking about the progressive stuff, like papers call leftist content. For example, prominent thing, veganism, living without meat. It just needs a little spark from wherever, from a local newspaper, some kind of canteen, serving 1 vegetarian day a week, and they are being flooded by the worst, most annoying, and most stupid opinions ever been. And there's these online warriors that want to fight for freedom and don't want to be judged by the canteen, and not even by soy boys like me. They don't want to be told, okay, you can have your steak. From the most natural fraction of non-meat eater react. Well, and then there's some kind of text on steaks, and some guy from the CDU is being racist on a tweet on veganism. How do they do that? I mean, how do they achieve that? There's also like, well, yeah, the guy's talking about meat, and there's a few animal saviors where they think about, okay, that's there's people from the Springer Verlag, and there's like militant veganisms destroy Germany, and then this opinion is well, basically attacked. It can happen morgen, the day after tomorrow, but it's gonna happen over and over again. All this because it's not annoying enough. This is followed by cynical assholes like me who make jokes of this, who makes fun of it. It's a hellhole, and it's always best to just block them. Just free yourself from those. It's like it's hell. And it's really, you can foresee that. It's the best weather forecast ever. Topics and topics against it, speed limits, genderism, car-free cities, and something else you shouldn't say as a white person, like pronouns or boomers. And the worst thing is, and without doubt, the so-called cancel culture.
Cancel culture. No one knows where it comes from. Everyone has an opinion. In any case, it's evil and it's destroying everything. I don't know what it is. It's become this perceived threat towards freedom of opinion. It's spit out on the internet, and the sheer recklessness of using this term, it's always stylized as this great threat and part of a culture. If you don't like comedians on a big stage that is sexually harassing people, then this is cancel culture. If you don't like them, you can't utter this criticism. How dare you unfollow that person? It may be the smallest thing, but it's cancel culture. You find something shitty and you dare to utter it on the internet. And whenever politics is getting louder, it's cancel culture. Everything is cancel culture. It's a word that's lost meaning. This imagination of some kind of culture being behind every political movement is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of, and I read my own tweets. Of course, it's also a nice imagination. If there were like big discourses where like the big powerful people come together and conspire and who to cancel next. It doesn't exist. It would be cool if it existed. Those secret conspiracies would be really bad at their job. That's ridiculous. How didn't they manage to cancel one conservative voice? We can't do that because it doesn't matter what happens off the internet. In the internet, of course it happens, but all those purported victims of cancel cultures are very successful, are writing best-selling books, are sitting in their villas and on their talk shows and laughing about those little shitstorms called cancel cultures and stylizing themselves as the victims. So I plead. It's very important to say that when you're pleading for something. I want to put cancel culture where it belongs, on the scrapyard of the internet, into Springer columns.
Lasst uns diesen komplett verwässerten Begriff.
So let's just forget this word that has lost meaning and see it as what it is. It's just many people who are a little loud, a little impolite, sometimes harsh, and find things shitty. That's the internet. It's nothing deep. It's just people not liking things. It happens. I don't want to diminish experiences where you spend time on the internet. I don't know how much time people spend on the internet, maybe 3 hours. But when you're flooded with negative feedback, it must be shitty, but it's the risk you pose yourself to when you go online with your opinion. And I've got a small tip for people who are affected by the big bad left cancel cultures and who are suffering from having their opinions taken away. You can just try not being an asshole. It's a possibility.
Ich spreche natürlich nicht stellvertretend fürs Internet.
So I'm not the representative of the internet officially. I'm just one voice within my generation. And of course, there's things that are that we cannot forgive. But for most mistakes you can make as a public figure, dumb tweets, uninformed jokes, uninformed interviews, all those small or medium catastrophes that you can do on the internet. There's a very good variant of dealing with it, and it's so easy. You can free yourself from the claws of cancel culture by just being responsible for your own actions. Apologize. Don't do it again. It's so easy. If you posted shit, delete it, say sorry. It's not hard. And even if you're not sorry, just lie. It's easy. Do me a favor and don't call it cancel culture. If people find your opinion shitty, maybe it is shitty. It may be shitty without a political agenda behind it. And if you've been cancelled, you're probably on some bestseller list. You're part of a big show on TV. You're driving a Hummer. I don't know what rich people do in their free time. I don't know what, like, when you're someone who has public opinions and shitty opinions, if someone knows a person like that, it's really easy. Just translate a book from the US badly into German. It's so easy. Just have a column in the newspaper Die Welt. So let's put this discussion of cancel culture behind us. Let's bury it. Some people, some things deserve to die. We don't need it anymore. And I can only repeat, just on the internet, try not to be an asshole. Try not to be an asshole. It may be difficult. It may be unpleasant sometimes. Sometimes you have to think before you hit the tweet button. But it's a small thing you can do if you're afraid of the big, bad cancel culture. Because actually, it's a cool thing. It's basic democracy that persons in public are made responsible by us, the users. This is exactly how it should be. And if you're afraid of that, maybe it's not a problem of the internet, it's a you problem. And maybe this presentation will be retweeted when I've done something shitty, and it will happen. I'm an internet user. I can try as hard as I want. I'll do something shitty. It'll happen. And if it happens, and this presentation is on my Twitter timeline, I want to tell the future El Hotzo, what did you do, you little asshole? Did you secretly listen to Böse Onkels on Spotify? And maybe I'll whine about cancel culture and the wave of hate against me. But when I see this video, dear Sebastian of the future, how about you just apologize? Just show that you know the consequences of your own action. And that'll be 2 weeks where I get some bad comments, but that's life. It's okay. So, everyone. That was the last of my 3 Republica slots. It's been the first time since my scientific theory studies in Bielefeld that I've spoken in front of people. It was crazy. I don't know if I'll do it again, but I had a good time. And I learned that I shouldn't print out and staple my notes because I stapled them in the incorrect order. But it's not like you pay money for the tickets or good. I had a good time. Thank you very much.
Sebastian Hotz, alias El Hotz.